Welcome to the Golden For Culture podcast, where faith, purpose, and professional excellence collide to transform workplace culture. I'm your host, Jeffrey Cumberbatch, and today we're diving into a topic that's been stirring conversations in boardrooms, break rooms, and beyond: diversity, equity, and inclusion, or as many of us know it, DEI. But today's episode is about more than just corporate policy. It's about why DEI isn't just a workplace issue, it's a kingdom issue. The title says it all. First, DEI, then your religion. Let me explain. In today's evolving world, DEI has become both a rallying cry and a lightning rod. Organizations once loud about their DEI commitments are now quietly stepping away, blaming budgets, shifting priorities, or even external backlash. But here's the hard truth. When DEI goes, what's next? Your faith, your values, your ability to express what you believe in the workplace. This isn't just a corporate problem, it's a cultural crisis. Faith at its core is about love, grace, and justice. It's about seeing others as equal and valued, just as God does. And if you ask me, the gospel is the ultimate DEI statement. Jesus broke barriers long before corporate America knew what DEI stood for. He welcomed the outcast, dined with the rejected, and touched the untouchable. The Samaritan woman, Zacchaeus, the lepers, he showed us that everyone matters. But when companies retreat from DEI, they aren't just walking away from policies. They're walking away from people. They're walking away from opportunities to create spaces where every person feels seen, heard, and valued. And as believers, if we ignore DEI's importance, how can we claim to represent the kingdom's principles in our workplaces? The kingdom has always been about inclusion. Jesus didn't wait for an invitation. He created one. And that's what DEI is about in our modern context. It's about building cultures that reflect dignity, worth, and fairness for every individual. It's about ensuring no one is left behind because of systemic barriers, biases, or injustices. When companies backtrack on DEI, we, those of us driven by faith, are called to stand in the gap. And here's where it gets real. If you're kingdom-minded, you don't get to be passive. This isn't a time for silence. It's a time for boldness. Inclusion, fairness, and justice aren't nice-to-haves. They're essential. They're reflections of a higher calling. So I challenge you. Before you wear your religion on your sleeve, ask yourself, are you living it out? Are you creating spaces where others can thrive? Are you standing up for the marginalized, the overlooked, and the underestimated? Because if the answer isn't yes, then maybe it's time to reassess. First DEI, then your religion. This conversation isn't just about corporate priorities. It's about human priorities, and it's about action. As companies retreat, the kingdom must advance. We need to be the ones leading the charge, advocating for diversity, fighting for equity, and celebrating inclusion. Because if not us, then who? This is the call to be golden for the culture. So, let's roll up our sleeves. Let's be the change we wish to see in the world. Let's be golden for the culture and create workplaces that reflect the very best of who we are and what we believe. The time is now. The choice is ours. Let's make it count.